So here is Bernard talking with Mary about how his feelings about what he saw outside of the silo. But I don't know if he is he being a master political technician, or is he kind of just paranoid and saying stuff.
I'm not afraid of what I imagine. I'm afraid of what I saw. What she saw on the other side of that hill, thousands of bodies, an entire silo dead. It looked like the silo went to war with itself. That's what scares me, because if it happened there, it could happen here.
So what's wrong with that?
So he says, I'm not afraid of what I imagined. I'm afraid of what I saw. And then he lists four things that I don't think he could have seen these. So I think these are things that he imagined. So the first thing is that, yeah, he says, I'm afraid of what I saw. I'm afraid of what Juliet saw. Like, do you know what Juliet saw over the hill? So I think the only information that he has is the same information that everyone else in the silo has, which is in this next clip. It's how does Bernard know what's on the other side of the hill?
So you're talking about this clip here.
Yep.
With this is from season 1.
Season 1, episode 10, the last thing we saw in that season. So Juliet's walking over the hill.
Yep.
You get a little pan around. There's the camera underneath the crest of the hill. Here are the other silos. And I don't see any bodies.
So I just assumed that he could see what Juliet was seeing, but you're saying he could be making that up.
Right. I think so as if he doesn't see what Juliet's seeing, if he has the only information that everyone else has, that the only information that we've seen him to have. In fact, can we go to the next picture?
Oh, yep. This one?
So this is what everyone sees. Everyone in the cafeteria sees. They see it from that perspective of that one camera that's above ground, and you can't see over the hill.
False.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Right there. That is
okay.
that is over the hill.
Yeah. That is that. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Also,
you're right.
Also, that's the second hill.
Okay.
So
yeah.
you
So
can't
that's
see over
okay.
that hill.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay. So get your facts straight.
I see what you did. Okay. That could be a hill made of fully of just bodies. Okay. No. Okay. You know what I'm saying. You can't see over the hill. You can see the top of the tree from the other side of the hill. Yeah. Okay. Technically, right. I said the thing that you said. But otherwise, this is the same information that Bernard has. And so you look one more picture. Bernard and Sims are in the cafeteria. They see what everyone else sees. So I guess Bernard runs away. He runs away to IT, and we don't know what he's looking at. So that maybe his information. But as far as I know, this is the only camera that's above ground, and so this is where he's getting all of his information. So he says that he saw what Juliet saw.
Yeah.
And there's thousands of bodies. You don't know that. He said it looked like the entire silo went to war to itself. Like, you don't know what happened. Like, it could have been some type of black mold or something. They're like, everyone get out. It could have been like a raiders attack, and then they went out to defend against it, and then that portion of the silo died, and everyone else closed the doors, and they're still thriving inside it. We repopulate or whatever. Like, I don't think Bernard knows these things, but he's saying the things that feel right for him because they are the situation that applies to him. So on his mind, these are the things that he's afraid of. And then he just throws it out there as if it's fact. And
so I thought the stuff he mentioned was a little too specific,
right.
Meaning I felt like he had to have a feed to Juliet's vision.
I gotcha.
Because it was too specific what he was saying. Now, he may have interpreted that through the lens of his own paranoia.
Mm-hmm, okay.
But do we think the suit...
I don't see a GoPro. I don't see a helmet cam. Like, how is he getting information from what she saw?
Gosh, so first thing is this visor is super advanced, right? Because it's like an AR system. That's light
true.
Is coming in from the outside, and then it's overlaying the greenery on top of it. And so he needs to be able to look down and step and stuff like it's normal ground.
Right. And it's not like a fully transparent LCD screen because she can see through it sometimes. So
yeah.
It's like this transparent AR.
Yeah, and it has no lag, so she doesn't get this kind of stuff going on.
That's right. So you're saying that the information that she's seeing is not being transmitted from her suit to IT for processing and AR overlay and then sent back, because that travel time would result in, if she turns her head, the image would slide a little bit late.
Right.
And even if it's like 100 milliseconds, even tens of milliseconds, the human eye sees that why are things why am I looking through soup? Like, what is going on here?
Right. So that means, okay, so not only is the advisor advanced, but there's computing on here.
That's right.
There's computing on here.
Maybe in her backpack.
Maybe in her backpack, which means this suit is advanced. And in fact, we don't know when the apocalypse hit. So could they fit a camera on here somewhere that relays back to IT?
Okay, even better. He might actually mean he sees what Juliet sees, because that helmet is close to her scalp. And so whatever vision, whatever signal from the outside world that's going through her eye, landing on her retina, then transducing to the occipital lobe where vision is processed, it might actually just be straight up reading her brain. So he literally could mean, I'm afraid of what Juliet saw, because whatever's in her brain is transmitted to the suit, or it's absorbed by the suit somehow, and then that suit can send out, I guess, wirelessly, pretty slow data rate, just send it out to the IT department later. That would be okay.
Right. Even if it was stills of what she saw, that would work.
Sure.
He could interpret it. So you're saying it could be some kind of camera on here that we don't see. It could also be like they're measuring her brain directly and converting that into an image because it's super advanced.
Yep.
And
possible.
So we don't know the tech going into that suit, and it could be super advanced. And so that information is... In fact, Bernard doesn't even necessarily know the capabilities of the suit because it's generations after they were manufactured.
Information lost in time.
He just knows, if I go IT, press this button, I see stuff.
Yeah, he could be. And so he could be seeing, actually what she's seeing. Although there's still speculation. Because you see the neighboring silo with a bunch of dead bodies. You don't know why they're dead. Like that's right. He's filling in blanks for sure.
Right. So he sees a bunch of dead bodies in another silo, and he's interpreting what he sees through the eyes of what he's afraid of. That makes sense. We all do this to some degree. Yeah, we see an event and we take it, we process it through
plus heuristics.
Yeah, and we also process it through our emotional centers, like what we're worried about, what our insecurities are, whatever is on our mind at the time, if we're angry or not. We'll interpret events based on that. So that's actually, I guess, very realistic. Although he does use that's the truth.
Right. He shouldn't be certain, but he did get it right. Right. But he shouldn't be certain.
But if you are trying to make a point to somebody to convince them, you're not going to be like, well, with a 70% probability.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Or like couch your statement.
But you should, but people don't.
It's like, it's most likely this, but it could be this other thing that's actually not a big deal. Like, that's not going to be convincing.